Hi, I'm Julie Tucker Leeton, and I'm here to run through my website for this course. I've been wanting to make a website for my Spanish students for a couple of years now. I just haven't taken the time or had the time to actually do it. So I kind of had an idea going into this class what website I wanted to create. So I'm going to started out with the audience analysis. My audience analysis is that I'm starting out with Spanish 1 students. Hopefully I will expand that later on to Spanish 2, 3, and 4 for our district. I wanted a one-stop place that's very simple, very easy for the students to use to be able to get to all the links that they need for our class. For my plan, what I decided to come up with is a welcome page. And then I wanted a table of contents, or what I ended up calling a main page, that's going to take us to individual units, extra practice, places to Google Classroom, art gallery, culture page, and Oasis. What I ended up with was my welcome page takes me directly to the main page, which will take me to the individual units. Then important links, which kind of encompasses all of this, and then cultural type pages. Now, my culture pages is an example culture page of some of the things that we've done culturally this year. What I'm hoping to do in the future is create a culture page for every month or every section, important section, like for Day of the Dead, for Hispanic Heritage Month, for Foreign Language Week, that sort of thing, so that the kids can go there and get some more information, more practice on anything we're covering in class. Getting back to the website, one of the biggest problems I have had, one of the biggest challenges I have had on here was something as simple as changing the background color. Weebly does not just let you change the background color. It only gave me the choice between light and dark. So in order to actually change it from white to this grayish color, I had to go into the HTML and play with a little bit of the coding. And I played around and did some experimentation. So it was some really awful colors for a while. Until I got it the way I liked it. I chose these colors because this is our school colors. Students will definitely identify with this. This is our school emblem right here. I've got it up in the corner too. That's the click to come back to this page. Also, on my banner, I'm having trouble with my lettering right here. When I try to insert it as a title, it makes it so big it's 3 lines. When I try to make it just one level smaller, it goes to this size. So I've not been able to get it kind of in between that. So I may have to go into my photo editing program on my home computer and get that changed and create a whole banner for it instead of what I have here. While I was watching the students, one of the things I noticed is they didn't always see this up here. And so they would go down here and then they thought this was the only part of the website. So I added a go to main page button so they can just click on it and go, or they can go up here into the main page area. Going into the main page, I have us, get it to go. I have 3 major sites right now. Hopefully I'll add to it later, but I've got a textbook help by unit, which will take me to the Spanish 1 textbook information, important links, and cultural links. The textbook main, if you notice, I have a drop down so they can go to any of the subjects straight from here, or they can click and go straight into the textbook this way. One of the first things that my students have problems with, and I have to reteach over and over and over again throughout the year, is how do they even open the textbook? Pearson Realize, if you've never used it, you have to sign in, you have to go in, you have to tell it, go into classes and find the book, and it's a little black and white book. It doesn't look like the cover. So the first thing I did was create a Screencastify to teach them how to open the textbook. I also have a link to the actual Pearson Realize link right here. And then to get unit help, right now I only have 1 unit. That's all I had time for, but I'll be adding some more throughout the summer. I'm already starting to work on unit 1. Hopefully my goal is by the end of summer, I'll have at least unit 1 and 2, which is the first semester's units for us, and then be able to work from there. for each unit, or for my unit, the first unit, it is basically what would be covered in exploratory. It's pretty much all vocabulary, very, very, very little grammar. So because of that, I pretty much just have it with what would be done in an elementary school to teach them. When you go into the site, I have first a vocabulary list. I'm going to go because my internet's kind of running slow. So well, there it goes. It's got a list of the vocabulary that they have to know. That's off of a homework assignment, so I did not give them the Spanish for it. But there's several other ways they can get the Spanish. One, Memrise has a link. Memrise is a program where I can set up the class for them, and I put the one that goes with our textbook, a list, and that's the levels 1 and 2 that they're going to practice with. Because they have to sign in, I did not put an embedded on there, but I did give them the link on it so that they can go in there to practice. Also, for each one of them, I gave them a song or some sort of video explaining it. Then I also gave them a Quizlet, and now Quizlet, they have several different choices on study modes. The one I have is matching, but they could also do learning, test, flashcards, and spelling. And I did that for each one of these topics right here for this. For the other ones on important links, basically I've been putting links on there that the students will need throughout the class. For example, I've got the textbook on there again. I've got another link to Memrise, so it's on there again. Duolingo, Conjuguemos, we use those quite a bit in class. We do Powtoons and Bitables where they're explaining things, so we do that pretty much every day or not every day, but every unit. So I'm giving them links, and I'll continue adding as it goes. I did have just buttons on there, and I figured that would be kind of hard for the students to see. So I went ahead and added the image from each of the websites. And it has a link from both the picture and, well, no, it just has a link from the picture on this one. For cultural links, I just gave examples of things that I would put on there. Again, I'm going to divide this out in sections so that it'll go right along with the themes that we're covering. One of the things that we talk about, which it's not showing very good today, is a volcano in Mexico named Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl is an active volcano, and there is a webcam. So I've got the live webcam feed so that students can see it. It's cloudy today, so you can't really see the volcano, but he's usually right there. And sometimes, looks like he's blowing a little bit of smoke right now. So kids can see that. And so when we're covering that section, I would have that screen on there. For Day of the Dead, one of the things we do is create an altar. We study it. We also learn about the Mayans. So when we're learning about this stuff, that's when I'm going to have the different pages open on there. For the Contact Us, right now, I only have a link to my email address. I plan on adding the other links, but I want to make sure I have their express permission, which I know I do. They've already liked the website. They've been looking at it. We've talked about it during our meetings. So I'm just going to get the okay from them to go ahead and put the links. I'm hoping eventually, like maybe early next year, get a picture of everybody so that we can have a picture with the teacher. And so there's a face that goes right along with it. Just not quite there yet. And that's one of the things I'm planning on doing in the future. For general comments, if they don't know who they're wanting to talk to, this is going to send it to my school email, is what I have the link to, but I have it right here. I organized it this way so that it could be very simple, very limited. I didn't want students to feel overwhelmed with it. I'm hoping to eventually get Spanish 2 added in 3 and 4, and so I may have to redo this a little bit. So that's kind of my future plans with it. I've got it approved by the IT department, and I have it open, and I have students starting to look at it, and they're liking it. They're saying, oh, yes, this would have been so much help this year. So I'm hoping next year I'll be able to run it out and get it working. Thank you, and I look forward to your input.